Zetwerk is startup that just crossed 2 years, right? And we've been growing quite aggressively in that time frame, and we just closed our Series C. So right from the time we closed our Series B, I've been thinking about moving into a product which will help us manage the cap table, help us manage the entire administration of the ESOP scheme, because currently we were basing it on Excel and Google Sheets, and there used to be times when our data didn't match, and when something like that happens to a process like an ESOP, which has a financial liability both for the employee and for the employer, it gets slightly concerning for somebody at my position, and of course for the founders, the CEO. When we're looking at it from a total rewards philosophy, there is no other element which brings in long-term commitment and long-term retention like something like ESOP does. We look at it in a very simple manner. What we explain to our employees as well, it's not weird startup math in our ESOP document. It's very simple. It's a ₹1 exercise price. We have a very lenient policy. I wouldn't want to share it here, but lenient policy on how you can exercise your options once they are vested. The period. We are not very cutthroat there, asking people to do it in a month, in 3 months, even for people who are resigned and who are leaving the company. When I'm looking at a product, the most important thing that comes to mind, apart from the fact that it needs to have the features that is required by the organization, is the people that are bringing it to me, the capability and the competency of the folks that are bringing it and the folks that will be working on it after we sign on the dotted line. So Sanjay and Pratyush, when they came to us, gave me the confidence that they are people who understand this area and who can deliver what they are promising in the sales pitch. So that's number one. Number two is I didn't want a very complex and a complicated product for this particular process. I wanted it to be simple with easy user interface. At the same time, get things done. It needs to be accurate, needs to give me the reports that both HR and finance need for the sake of closing whatever needs to be done, both internally and for external stakeholders. And number three, of course, was the price point. The price point that was offered to us made a lot of sense at that point in time, and gives me time to experience the product before I need to start getting fully invested in it. So those are the three reasons we selected MyStartupEquity. The reason that a product like this, an ESOP component in compensation and benefits, is brought in is to ring fence critical employees, right, for the long term, for the organization. And a visual representation of the value that they hold in the company really helps drive that message. So every time they log in and they see that number, they see that graph, and they see the value that's added to their portfolio from the day they joined till today, that sort of gives them the confidence in the organization. So it's a very important feature, and it really drives the core fundamental of the CNB philosophy of a tool such as ESOP for employees.